everyone, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Wednesday night, living in my truth. I'm excited to be on. Excited to have you guys on. Hey, I'm gonna wait for you guys to come on and pop on. If you guys can, just a little reminder, you can support me by sending stars. That'll help me earn money to keep making content that you guys love and enjoy. And that can help us all. So please, if you can, hit that star button, y'all. I'd appreciate it so much. Hey. I'm just going to wait for you guys to start coming on. Hey. Couldn't wait for the day. Hey, Frida. You're my first lady today. Hey, Miss Frida. How are you? Thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing up. I'm waiting for my phone to catch up. You know I gotta have two of them. See? I'm trying to get it to allow me to comment from this phone. Let me see. Hey, Teresa. Hopefully this will show up. I'ma hope so. Yep, it showed up. Hey, everybody. Oh, God, y'all. I done lost the doggone thing again. I'm back. She's back. Okay. I told y'all I'm going to get better at this thing, and I am. I'm proud of me, to be honest. So proud of me. Teresa, you know I'll be having a hard time. Oh, boy, yeah, I got a nice topic tonight. My topic is about recovery, and sobriety, gratitude, quite a few things we're going to go into. Just to let everybody know who is recovering from, drugs or alcohol, or anybody you are or family members or whomever that you feel it's okay, that sharing and offering the information and education that we have as addicts is all they ask for in NAAA, and especially, from our higher power, God. It says in the rule, steps to share, these steps, 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholic Anonymous with the still suffering addicts and alcoholics today. And this is why, I'm doing this myself, and that's important. It's very important that we, help someone else because somebody helped us, and it's so important to give back. I know some people don't want to be on camera, what I mean, to share. But, for me, it's like, however we do it, wherever we do it, whenever we do it, just do it. You follow? So I'm asking anybody who's in recovery, if you want to have a testimony or share, come on the couch and share with me, send me messages, what I mean, that I could share with others, what I'm saying. I would really appreciate it. And I definitely feel like anybody who's suffering with this disease will appreciate it, and the family members, what I mean, the loved ones that don't really understand disease. Some don't even believe in disease, no matter what comes on or what we do or what we say. I'm not trying to make them, or convince them that, okay, this is what it is, please understand this, or please, you have to recognize this. No, this is just information and education, to whom and all who is listening to hear this, so that you could see and get a good understanding of what we go through, and that we are humans. We're still the loved one that you knew before we got sick. And even some of us that are addicts or still on here functioning addicts, some of us don't even believe that it's a sickness, but, I hope, every episode that comes on here helps you to understand that. But in order for it to do that, you have to be open, to listen to it. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of people who see me at times and say to me, keep on doing what you're doing, she said. They say, and, it is needed, and that's the God's truth. It is needed, so I'm going to continue to do it one way or the other, but I would appreciate it if there is anybody who would like to come on the couch with me, you know what I'm saying, and let's do this thing, I chose to do September solo because of it being Recovery Month, and I'm just giving back, as much as I can, to support the month as well, but this month, October, keep forgetting it's the 1st, it's, I'm going to start bringing people back on, okay, to help out and share their strength and hope. So if you want to join me, and join us, please don't hesitate. You know what I mean? Because I can use your help. Again, this is for me too, just as much as it's for you. So, just think about it. Hey, Mary, how you doing? Hey, Beth. I missed you, girl. I ain't seen you for a minute on here. Hey, my bestie. What's up, Ange? What's up? Ange, you gotta call me too. I gotta tell you something, surprise you. Which was a surprise to me. Thanks for coming on. I said, Teresa, I hope y'all seen my little message, far as to support me with the stars, by sending me stars. It can help me greatly and dearly, You know, and I believe that the stars you can find on the bottom of the screen or the top of the screen. You know, every time I come on, I'm able to receive stars. And I believe if you push it, the star will direct you to how you send stars. For me, I don't know what this is right here. You know, but it will direct you to how to do this. I don't know what's stopping this right here. It's bothering me now. I guess it'll come through. I don't know. You know how they change these daggone phones when you ignore them and say, okay, later. Well, when they change them, I'm lost. I don't know what this new stuff they done put on this phone, but this ain't normally how this works, but I have to figure it out. But again, I want to also have everybody send some prayer hands up for our brother Salim Chambers. He's a recovering addict. Actually, he was one of my clients, and he's been clean for a while now, and he's having a little struggle. He lost his brother, you know, and he shouted out to me yesterday, and I stayed on the line with him for a while and talked to him, you know, as I supposed to do, not as a counselor. I'm not that anymore. I'm a sister, you know, now, you know, in recovery, you know, and we look out for each other and have to be there, you know, when one is need another. You know, we're going to talk a little bit about that too. So if y'all, hey Steve, if y'all can, I would appreciate if y'all send him some prayer hands. Thank you. And Salim, I hope you're watching. You know what I mean? I'm going to ask again, you know, because I know you're working as well. But I wanted to send that out because prayers need to be up for him. And that's everybody, not just recovering people who are watching in here. We just need them prayer warriors, you know, to come on and let's pray for this young man, you know, because this is times where disease like to knock on the door, you know what I mean? But my brother, you know, he letting you know that, you know, I need this help. He's doing just what he's supposed to do. So I asked him if he mind if I shouted him out on Living in My Truth, and he said not at all. So if you're watching, Celine, prayers are going up. God bless you, and I'm definitely praying for you. And see, all our brothers and sisters on here is too, you know, because we need that, you know, period, just every day, you know. But I mean, he needs the warriors to get down. Let me get this here. Okay, I guess this is the right one. Hey Jack, what's up, girl? Mwah. What's happening with you? Jack, if you just came on, you should remember Salim Chambers from us helping him, you know, when he was in treatment. He had a loss, and he needs that love from everybody, you know. So prayers up for him, you know. Steve, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you. Hey, Erica. Thanks everybody for showing up. I'm gonna get it in today, y'all, too. Y'all know I've been trying to get it in lately. You know, and I explained to some that was on here before you guys that we have to I was asking anybody who wanted to come on, you know, video wise, or come to the couch. You're very much welcome, you know, and that if we're in recovery, and some of us that have recovery time, you know, our duty is to give back. You know what I mean? I was saying that everybody is not camera ready like me. You know what I mean? I'm a Kodak girl. Kodak moment. You know what I mean? But I just love it so much that it was just easy for me to do it. You know what I mean? And once you sit down, y'all, you know, and you get to going and you see all awesome, comments that people are making, not judging, not talking about you, you know what I mean? But listening and offering their help and letting us know that we are helping, that's a blessing. That's a reward that we receive as recovering addicts. You know what I mean? And a blessing that God offers us, helping one another. Recovery is definitely a powerful thing. It is the most powerful for a person who can achieve through a storm, you know what I mean, and wake up every day not hurting and running and doing all the things that it make us do, and wake up happy, wake up, just thanking God for another day. I know I love it. I thank him every day, for giving me another day, because things today, y'all, we don't know how nothing's going to happen, and, who's going to go next, and that don't even have to be from addiction, but I love it. I just love it. It's just instilled in me today as it was yesterday. You know what I mean? Tomorrow I'm going to pray for and hope that it continues, But far as I'm concerned, I ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? This has been the best time of my life, finding myself, and finding my higher power and knowing how beautiful the peace is, It allows me to know that I'm not missing anything that I used to do, But, just to let y'all know, coming from a recovering addict, which is me, Tracy Allen Williams, recovery is a blessing. And when you give back, the blessings come back. Believe me. Hey, Coretta, how you doing? Thanks for coming on. I'm talking about recovery is powerful, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about, a few other things in this thing. I get the rolling after a while. Recovery, I am so grateful for it. I'm so grateful that there was people who suffered from this disease, suffered from this addiction, and, came back, was blessed to come back, and share for me, to me, about their stories and, all the things that, I prepared me for things that I was going to go through. And when I tell you they was on cue, I'm telling you. So I was prepared for a lot of things that was going to come my way, that sickness was going to bring my way, that disease that's cunning, baffling, and powerful. It helped prepare me, to understand how it works and what it is, the way it comes to you, the way it stays in you, and to understand that it's with us forever, and the only place that we could put it is in remission, so today I live that, and I have enough of that information and education and love in my heart, sympathy, empathy, you know what I mean, that I could share it and give it back to you, and to have people to understand how this thing works, I'm living proof, and there's no doubt about that. And the ones of us that's clean, we are all living proof. Gratitude with it. Gratitude is the native language of the redeemed. The native language of the redeemed. It flows not from perfect circumstances. It's not, what that means is it flows not from perfect circumstances, which means that, I believe it can mean anything, like what I've been through, my circumstances of what I've been through, they wasn't perfect, you know what I'm saying? But, from my heart, I remember all the things that I was tormented and tortured with through my active addiction. And my heart remembers, it remembers what it's been through. But now is rescued. You know what I'm saying? And I like that little part right there. You know, I jot down a few notes, you know, and I thought that sounded very good, you know, and very honest with you. You know, my heart has been rescued. You know what I mean? Because it was really beat down. It was really, tampered with. Disease had me like, you know, like that. I couldn't get out. I couldn't see. I couldn't hear. You know what I mean? I couldn't listen. I couldn't do none of that. You know what I mean? Not even to myself. You follow? You know, and every time, you know, like now in recovery, you know, as I was going through my struggle, I say thank you. I say thank you. I say thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you to the people that helped me. It's nothing but like a testimony. Every time you say thank you, every time you say thanks, it's a testimony. You know, so I want you guys to know this. Hey, D, my sister. What's up, girl? I love you. Coretta, how you doing? Glad to see you on. Hey, Laura. Meehan, glad you on. Glad you came on. You know, I was lost in my addiction. You know, very lost. You know, and like I said, heartless. You know, but now, today, following the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous, finding a higher power greater to my self, you follow, and with the help of people in recovery, NA and AA, I'm found. You know how that phase go. I was lost, but now I'm found. Well, look, I've been found. You know what I mean? And it is such a reward. It is one of the biggest things that ever happened to me in my life that I can talk about, feel it, understand it, you know, have the strength with it, and praise God. You know what I mean? Praise Him as much as I possibly can. And I'm not perfect, because I don't think there's anybody that is perfect, but I'm growing, you know, and my conscious contact with Him is strong. And I know there's plenty more room that I have to, you know, get closer with God, you know, but that's all of us every day, because remember last week when I said we're all under construction, you know. I'm just so grateful, you know, and I have much gratitude, you know, for my blessings. You know, people say, oh, she changed now. No, I'm blessed. You'll see the change. I'm not trying to make you see it. You know what I mean? Because we don't have to do that. You know what I mean? I just know that I'm blessed, and I know that I feel God in me every day, all day. You know, all the time. And if I need Him, He shows up. You follow? He shows up. Hey, Karen. How you doing? Sobriety is the craziest comeback from addiction. You follow? It is absolutely the bomb. You become more yourself. You become aware. You become educated. You learn how to listen. You learn how to hear. You become determined. You know, you get strong. You become truthful. You know how to be honest. You know what I mean? It is the biggest comeback from addiction. You know, I could say that is a big comeback. You know, and it feels so good. It feels so great. You know what I mean? I am just high from this thing. You know what I mean? I got high off the devil's plan. You know what I mean? Now I'm high off of my higher powers plan. You know what I mean? Higher, you know, off of my higher powers plan. And I know I'm not going to get nothing but greatness from it. Nothing but love. Nothing but, you know, respect. You follow what I'm saying? And some people don't ever respect you again, and that's okay, but I respect me. And for as long as I respect me, believe me, I feel great. Can't nobody tell me anything different. You know what I mean? 'Cause from where I came from, before I was even became addicted to drugs, you know, knowledgeably to know that I was addicted, you know, as an adult, my childhood, you know what I mean? I was disrespected then too. You follow what I'm saying? But today, I hold the highest level of respect for me that anybody could almost possibly think that they do. You know what I mean? It's all appreciated, but on the eye means, you know, it starts with me and it ends with me. And what I learned from my tools, you know, and the people in the rooms was to know that it starts with me and it's going to end with me. And I am the most important person. And that is so true, because I only have the answer to my higher power, no matter what. You know what I mean? As well as you. You follow what I'm saying? So I'm determined with this thing. You know what I mean? I feel strong when it comes to sharing and helping people. You know what I mean? Learn what I was taught, you know, and the way that I live today. You follow? Again, I want to shout this out. My brother Salim Chambers, he having a hard time today, y'all. So let's keep him aware. You know what I mean? And if he comes on, he'll let me know he's there. If he's not already there, you know, and let's send prayers up. We need to have some prayer warriors for him. You know, he lost a brother, his baby brother, and he's having a very hard time. Disease is knocking on the door, but he's strong. He knows as long as he say no by any means necessary, he's going to get through this pain. You know, he's going to get through it all. So with us, you know, and the people that in the rooms, you know, is sponsoring everybody, is supporting him and got his back. Sobriety is the ultimate upgrade. I'm going to put it that way. It's the ultimate upgrade in life, as I was telling y'all. It's the best thing that could have ever happened to me. It's found in every, it's like a straight answer in every type of decision for me to stay sober and clean. Okay, my sobriety is like big, y'all, you know, and I'm going to do everything that I can do to stay clean and stay sober. I'm sorry, and stay on top of this, but most importantly, helping others keep our darkness at bay. Have to. We have to do it, y'all. You know, I'm going to talk a little bit about reflections too. You know, every act of service we provide to others strengthens your sobriety. It strengthens us as well, because we're not well, we're okay. We're doing okay today. We said no today. You know, we still have the same disease, just like the suffering addict, the people that's out there still doing what they do. We know we have to live with it forever. So we still sick, you know what I'm saying? But we have enough information, education, what we call in our world medication, you know, like medication. I'm not talking about pills. I'm not talking about getting shots. I'm not talking about all of that. I'm talking about real love, power from our higher power, you know what I mean? And each other's support to help keep our sanity. You follow what I'm saying? So our strength as a recovering person, helping someone else strengthens our sobriety. It makes us stronger. I know it do for me. Okay? Carrying the message, all of this that we learn, all of this that we know, save both the giver and the receiver, which means it saves me and it saves you. Okay, and we have to do a whole lot more of this. You know, we have to, that's all part of recovery, is to building ourselves up, to have no shame to the game, and, you know, have the will in our hearts, you know, to say, I will share with the next suffering addict. You know, I know there's rooms for it, NA and AA, you know what I mean? But for me, I ain't know them people either. I ain't know nobody in there. You know what I mean? And they made me feel so comfortable, as I'm hoping that I'm making you feel comfortable on living with my truth, that I was willing and able, you know, to tell all these strangers, you know, what I was going through and what was going on with me. But I came to find out that they already knew, because the same things was going on with them too. So they was ready for me. I just wasn't ready for them, you know. But the way I was treated by them with all that love, you know, and accepting me in, had me comfortable in no time. I was so excited when I saw people that I thought wasn't even here, or locked up for life or something like that, that been in recovery for 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 years. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the shocks, you know, and the love and the blessings and the excitement of it all just bum rushed me, just like that first hit I got on that pipe. You know, that first hit bum rushed me to a fantasy that was it's unbelievable. I still can't explain to you how I felt. I just know that thing was phenomenal. You know what I mean? But it was the phenomenal walk to death. It was crazy. You know, it's something that can make you feel so good and kill you at the same time. And you know, that's some shit. That's something right there. You know. Hey, CC, how you doing? Again, carrying the message saves people. It definitely do. You know, and again, you know, it's not just for me, as I say on live all the time. It's for you guys. It's for me too. I feel we have to stop telling people before we can help them that, you know, recovery from drugs is, an addiction is really hard. Somebody came in my door, y'all. Wait a minute. Sweet. That is really hard. Shooting dope every day and being sick every day, that's hard. You know, smoking meth all day. And in your rooms and your bathrooms, and you know, you got these kids knocking on the door. And when I say they knocking on the door, not just a door, but they knocking up here too to try to get your attention, and you can't give it to them. You know, they just banging. You know what I mean? They just banging. You know, trying to get your attention, but that drug got you so done up. You know, I'm gonna say when you got to get up in the morning and have a drink, just to get yourself, that you might think make you stable. You know, or have a beer. You know, that you might think, you know, at the time makes you stable, but disease is telling you, hey, let's get started, get up. It's that time. If it allows you to even go to sleep, you know, going out in the streets, selling yourself. You follow what I'm saying? Stealing cars. You know what I mean? Just to have to get started for the day. You know, selling your body for cocaine, or for the meth, or, you know, for the pills or whatever. You know, recovery is rewarding and it's easier, you know, it's more of an easier way of life, put it that way. Recovery will allow you to recognize these things, all these things I named, you know what I mean, and to understand that that's part of your pain, you know what I mean, and you have to get up every day doing this if you can lay down, you know what I'm saying, you have to have it. You know, that's the first thing that's going to come to you when you wake up or before you go to sleep, because you don't want to go to sleep because the pain to the body and the mind and the heart is so devastating. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then you got to go do all these things, you know, or you have to depend on them when you wake up in the morning. People that take these drinks in the mornings, you know, they don't think that they addicts or alcoholics. People that smoke weed in the morning to get themselves started, they don't think that has nothing to do with addiction. You follow what I'm saying? Anytime you got to use a drug substance, or alcohol, substance, and you need that when you get up and you say, I need a drink because these kids is driving me crazy. Everything is done for a reason. Everything is done for a reason. Your desires for that drink or that drug is just that strong that you use these reasons why you have to do them. You don't think that that's a part of being sick. Some people don't, but it is. So you have to recognize and learn these things. Change is possible. Promise you that. Change is possible, but you have to get committed first that you're sick and tired of all these things. I can mention a lot more things that some people are going through. You know what I mean? Or you can go to work and work 8 hours, but you can't wait to get up or work so you can go straight to the bar, and have a drink. Well, hello. Disease still knocking on the door. You follow what I'm saying? For you, it seems normal. For you, it seems like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But that's a sign of addiction. It's a sign of looking forward to, I have to have this, and you do it every day. I know plenty of people that do that. You know what I mean? I just couldn't wait to get to the bars on Fridays. You know what I mean? Happy hours and all that stuff. Be totally drunk, tore up from the floor up. About time I leave, but for the grace of God, he gets me home and I'm drunk. He gets me home and I'm drunk. And I know there's a lot of you out there that's doing that, which is dangerous. You know what I mean? And we look forward and we do it every freaking weekend. Anymore, I think they're doing it on Wednesdays, Thursdays, happy hours, and all kinds of stuff. Don't know that the hell was right over top of your head, and God is blessing us all to get out that bar and get home safe and not hurt yourself or kill somebody. Not getting a DUI. A lot of this is good to think about. I'm telling you, because this poison that they have out here, and they got us thinking that it's fun, and they got us thinking that it's okay, is nothing but killing us. We like walking zombies. You understand? The dead alive. You follow? And we call it all fun. You know what I mean? But for me, fun is over. Fun is over. You know what I mean? I'd rather be the nerd. I understand what the nerdies are at this point. No, I ain't messing with no drugs and alcohol. Look, we used to be like, oh, you a punk, you phony. You know what I mean? You boring. Don't nobody want you around. Well, guess what? I'm knocking on their doors. I'd rather be with y'all because I done had my run with that. That showed me nothing but death. That showed me nothing but no respect. That showed me nothing but how not to be a parent. That showed me nothing on how not to love myself. That showed me all of the negative. Everything that I thought I had, it took it. It took it. And guess what saved me? Prayer. Prayer saved me. You know what I mean? Commitment saved me. Listening saved me. Hearing saved me. Seeing saved me. Still saving me. As long as I can continue to keep that up and have the wisdom to know the difference and accepting things that I can't change and changing things I can, believing in my higher power, prayer comes first. I know I'm going to be okay. I know I'm going to be okay. Am I in perfect condition? No. I put a lot of that poison inside me. You follow? Drugs and alcohol. I put a lot of that inside me. And I know that to this day because I'm sick to this day. And my organs ain't strong. My organs is not strong at all. And I got a disease that's cunning, baffling power other than just my addiction. You know what I mean? That lupus thing, man. My body, that thing shut me down. All the way down. Takes total control of my body. Where parts wasn't even working on the inside. Because they weren't healthy. I know they're not healthy. I gave it a lot of dope. I gave it a lot of alcohol. And I weakened these things. And truthful to me, now that I really need them, they can only do what they can do. You follow what I'm saying? They can only do what they can do. Hey T, what's up, baby? One thing I can say is I am so happy to be home. Y'all hear what I'm saying? To be home. And it's like coming home from being sick. The rewards of coming home and making it home is I got clean. I got sober. I unraveled. I got lost sometimes, but found my way back. You follow? Hey, Edwina. And found my way back. And I stayed home. Sobriety didn't save me. It broke me more. It left me among ruins so I can find my way home. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get this where I can say these things right. You know, I had to find my way home. So that means I had to work on myself. And I found the tools. I found the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous, the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. I came to believe in a higher power greater than myself to help me restore my sanity. And now I'm on my way back. You know what I mean? It helped me find my way back home. And finally saying that, you know, home is not here. This home. Home is me. All along, home was me. I am my home. You know what I mean? I am my home. My home was tortured. You know, my home was falling apart. You know how all these houses and stuff is falling apart? Well, that's what I was doing when I was stuck in the tunnel of addiction. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't know how to get home. I didn't know how to get back here. And I didn't know how to get right here. I didn't know that they were separated and they all both are one because one can't work without the other. You follow what I'm saying? So I was gone. I was lost. I was breaking apart. I was all over the place. You follow what I'm saying? I had no love for myself. I had no love for the kids. But in my heart, I knew that I really loved my kids. And I really loved me. And I loved my family. But my mind wouldn't let me know that I'm feeling this. It took the feeling away. You know what I mean? Put it all in that matrix I always talk about. Y'all feel what I'm saying? You know? And now I'm finding my way home and I'm putting every piece of that puzzle that's broken apart. You follow that disease did take from me and I'm putting them back in the right pieces so I can be home. Yeah. You hear me, Edwina? I'm home now, girl. I'm home. Home was always me. Home was always me. I was just getting tore down. Tearing myself down. That's what I was doing. Tearing myself down. Hey, Kimberly. I hope y'all hear me, though. I hope y'all hear me and follow me and understand what I'm saying and show me some hearts so I can know y'all listening. So I can know y'all hear me and on the right path with me. Believe me, this is home. This is your home. We got to fix all this. We got to fix all of this. You follow? So we could be safe in our own home. I ain't talking about the materialistic home. I'm talking about you. You are your home. You know? I learned that in recovery. And you know what? When you, we got to work on all our character defects. We all got them. Everybody got character defects. Something, you know, the character defects that you have may be worse than what somebody else had. We just talk all about them. When you see somebody that's sick, you see somebody that's suffering, you should learn how to help them. You follow what I'm saying? Because everything you see don't mean that's what it is. It's just an illusion of what you think you see. You see somebody that you know that's out there doing all those things I was talking about, the tricking, the robbing, the stealing, and all of that, and inside they're sick. I hear you that when it is no place like home, absolutely. They're sick. They're not home. They're not home. They're sick. They have to learn how to find home all over again, but before that, you got to know that you're not home. we had this this prayer in recovery, which is called the 6-step prayer. It says, God, I'm going to read this to you. I am ready for help in one, removing from me, 2, the defects of 3 characters, which I now realize are 4 obstacles to my recovery. 5, help me to continue being honest with myself. Guide me towards 6, spiritual and mental health. Because these are the things that we don't recognize. Yes, suffering from drug and alcohol addiction has a lot to do with mental health. I found that out because I'm an addict. I found that out because I'm in recovery. I found that out. It turned me into a beast. You know, it confused me so much, broke up the pieces in my brain so well, till that I was just lost. I didn't know how to surrender. I didn't know how to hold myself accountable. I didn't know how to eat no more. I didn't know how to stay still no more. I didn't know how not to care no more. I lost everything about life. Everything about life, I lost it. Disease was eating it up, laughing at me at the same freaking time. You know what I mean? Got me out there looking a fool. I looked a fool. You know what I mean? Weighing 82.5 pounds. You think Whitney Human lost weight? So did I. You know what I mean? Hair all nappy. You know what I mean? All that thing, you know, Tracy Allen, she dressed nice. She do this. Well, I couldn't do it then, but you couldn't tell me that I wasn't sharp because I had 1 pair of jeans left. I had my Michael Jackson red jacket with the zipper. I had my salt and pepper boots. Y'all remember those days? My salt and pepper boots. And I had my Eddie Murphy leather hat. I used to steal them jokers from out the Chinese store. They had my picture up. I couldn't even go in the store no more. You follow? But you couldn't tell me that something was wrong with that picture. Not at all. Scarves on my head all the time. It's like something, that's how we do. You know, I think it's a part of it. We just start wearing scarves. You know what I mean? Because we forget ourselves. We forget that we have to wash up. We forget that our beauty is no longer pretty no more. But in our heads, disease make us believe there's nothing wrong. It make us believe that these people are lying to us. You know, they're just trying to be, you know, this and trying to be that. You know, we're the ones that's blind. We're the ones that can't hear. So we ain't able to listen. So damn it, we gonna see. We can't. Disease is tearing us up, eating us up inside our own home. You follow what I'm saying? Just destroyed everything inside the home. You know what I mean? The prettiness in you, the loving yourself. You know, the looking forward to light. You just can't do anything. It like it freezes you up on the inside, and all you can do like a puppet is what it say do. You know what I mean? It just got you like a puppet. You know, feed me now. You know what I mean? And if you don't, it drop you. You know, it take the stick and the string from the puppet and it just drop you. You know what I mean? And when you fall hard. You fall real hard. You crack that head of yours. You know what I mean? Disease start busting out windows, knocking out bricks in your home. You can't stand up no more. All you're going to do is fall. So you have to get help. You have to get to acceptance. You know what I mean? We have to hear what people is saying, but if we don't know how to hear what people is saying, how to hear what people is saying, you know what I mean? This is when we're digging the grave, you feel me? In the yard outside of the home, you follow, we digging, you know, and then we have to hit that rock, you know, to get some sense in your head. Somebody threw a rock through the window. You follow what I'm saying? And then you somehow God just take his hands and say enough is enough. You follow what I'm saying? Let me pull my child. You know what I mean? I'm going to give her something so she can snatch away from this disease, the devil, you know. Snatch away from this disease for a minute and make some sense and say, I need help. Lord, help me. Somebody got to help me because I'm falling apart. I'm lost. You know, I'm stuck in the closet in my own home and I can't come out because when I do, it's nothing but darkness. Woo, that was nice. Feeling that a little bit. But you say Edwina now, H-O-W, honesty, open-minded, and willingness. Absolutely. You're hitting it right on the head, girl. But I know you know. You know what I mean? You know, you got to ask God for help. You have to, you know, be willing and ready, you know, to go through this dark place, you know, and surrender that you are in a dark home. You are in a dark place. You know what I mean? I can't see no more. You know what I mean? I can't do this no more. I don't want to die. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to die, you know, because you're walking dead anyway. You follow what I'm saying? You alive, just as alive as the next person walking dead. You know what I mean? Can't think, can't see, can't hear, can't do anything. You know, you're crippled, you're falling, you're dying, your organs is falling apart. The home is just breaking down. It's breaking down so bad that disease is inside saying, I'm winning. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to take you out. You know what I'm going to take you out just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Just keep feeding me. And keep feeding me because you ain't going nowhere but dying. I'm going to kill you because that's what I do. You know, so if you start recognize the voice that I be talking about, hear it. Hear it for the things that make you think. The things you know that's not right. You know what I mean? The things you know you're not doing right. You know, if it say don't look in the mirror, look in it. You follow what I'm saying? If it say open up the door, don't open up the door, open it up. If it say don't open up the window, open the window too. You know what I mean? Because your home is dark. Your home, which is you, is dark. And we got to add some light in it. You follow? We got to add some light in it. This is another thing that we have to come to realize. Thanks for the hearts, everybody. I love you. You know, this is another thing that we have to realize and know that this change is not for anybody but you. You know, this change is not for anybody but you. Because, see, your home is yours. You know, it's not the children's. It's not the moms. It's not the, you know, the grandmoms. It's not the church. It's not, you know, anybody's. Your home is yours. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have other people, and so many other people like you. You know what I mean? Like me. You know what I'm saying? You know, change is for you. And you don't have to make people see that you're changing. You don't have to prove a point. You don't have to, you know, oh, I want everybody to see me. I want everybody to know that I ain't getting high. You know what I mean? Hey, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Live one day at a time. Learn how to live one day at a time. You got to clean the home up. You got to clean it up one day at a time. You know what I mean? And first thing first. You follow? First thing is always first. This is what we have those 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholic Anonymous for. You know, it sends us a exterminating thing. It's like a exterminator for the home. It sends us, gives us the message. It gives us 12 steps on how we can clean and exterminate this home. You know what I mean? And have this home come out to be beautiful. Have this home come out to know who you are. You know, take you down the yellow brick road. You know what I mean? It's like you off to see the wizard. You follow? I'm going to meet eyes. You follow? I'm going to clean this house up. You know, I surrender now. I need God to help me clean this house up. You know what I mean? The more you clean the house up, the more you're going to feel God. The more you clean the house up, the more you're going to get honest. The more you clean the house up, the more you're going to be able to listen, to hear, and then you will see. You know what I mean? And as God blessed me, he cleaned me up and helped me clean myself up because I wanted to be clean. And now I can design the home. You understand what I'm saying? I can put a home together. You follow what I'm saying? Including helping somebody else put their home together. You know, with all this love and understanding and learning to trust and listen and hear people's stories, you know what I mean? And people like myself sharing with me that I don't even know, help me build my house all over again. You follow what I'm saying? And I'm still adding decor in. How about that? I'm feeling this shit right now, y'all. I'm still adding decor in. You hear what I'm saying? And I'm trying to make it look pretty. But not only make it look pretty, it's going to be pretty. It's going to be cleaned up. You follow? I done cleaned it up, and I'm still cleaning. You follow? And I still know that I got to clean this thing every single day. Every second of the day. Every minute of the day. Every hour of the day. Because that makes a day. You follow? And I don't try to go overboard. Some people say I go overboard, you know what I mean? Because I'm a blinger. I not only like bling on me, I like bling in my house. You follow what I'm saying? And I love it. You know, because see, you have to come to be in love with self. So now I'm loving my home. You follow? It's no more dark rooms in it. Not that I know of. And if it creeps up, I know it's disease. If it makes a sound that's not normal, that's not a part of the bling, you know what I mean? I know it's talking. You follow what I'm saying? I learned how to listen to this thing now. I know when it comes up and creep on me and want to put my electric out. How about that? I know when it comes to want to turn my water off. You follow what I'm saying? Make me sell my items. You follow what I'm saying? That's in my home, including myself. You follow what I'm saying? I've been through you already. I don't want you no more in my life. I don't want you no more in my house. I want the lights to stay on. I don't want to live in the dark anymore. You know? So I pray every day. I pray sometimes all day. You know what I mean? That serenity prayer can't get away from me because I'm saying it silent. I'm singing it sometimes, and I'm just saying it sometimes because you know what it do? It adds the wisdom to know the difference in my head, and it gives me the energy, the strength, and the understanding, you know what I mean, to know that this ain't right, this ain't good. You know what you'll do. You don't want to do that. You know what I mean? And your life is not worth going back in the dark. So that's what I do. I shut you out the door. I lock you out. Just like I lock disease out. You follow? I try to lock it out and keep it out. That's why it's in remission. I named that little hussy. It's Trey Trey. I say this all the time. You know what I mean? I know when she's knocking on the door. And sometimes I don't even know she's knocking on the door until the little hussy already knocked and I may almost opened it. You follow? But she don't know I got tools now. I got a broom, I got a mop, I got disinfect, I got all that stuff, which is called the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. You understand what I'm saying? I have rules, I have regulations, I know how to deal with structure today, you understand? And I know how to pick up the phone and I can ask somebody to come over and help me clean. I'm feeling this. It's just one word that sends me on so many. And send me on this journey, and I like to share it so people can hear it and understand it in our language called recovery. In our language, you know, we all got a piece of recovery the way that we give it. We all got a piece of recovery the way that we share it. You follow what I'm saying? And I share mine the way that I'm doing. Like I said, I don't try to be like anybody else because this is my house. You understand? And yeah, I have to keep this house right. I got to keep it clean. You know what I mean? But I can only open the door for ones who clean just like me. They house clean like mine. You know what I mean? I can't take the have nothing come in and break my peace. You know what I mean? I have peace in this home. You follow? I'm dealing with things, but guess what? I'm not going to let it break my peace. I'm not going to open the door for my sickness to take advantage of me. Not again, not as long as I got this brain and heart functioning together as a whole and as a one. Long as I got the wisdom to know the difference, you know, that my God gave me, the serenity. You follow what I'm saying? I'm going to stick with the winners. I'm going to stick with people whose clean house is just like mine. You know what I mean? And I'm going to stick with the ones who go around help cleaning houses. You follow what I'm saying? Except for the ones that go around that poison them. You follow what I'm saying? And I'm not coming down on nobody that choose to, be in the house of poison. I'm not coming down on you, which means the bars, buying all this liquor, doing what you do. Hey, look, God bless you, because I prayed for you anyway. It didn't take you out like it took me out, so I can only clean myself. You know what I'm saying? And offer strength, hope, and help, and how I got it to a one who will surrender themselves. You know what I mean? And realize that, this disease is real. This disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. This disease is a sneaky little hussy. I keep looking at the phone, y'all. My phone, because I'm trying to see the names too. You follow? I found that higher power greater than myself, and I choose to call God, and when I call on him, asking him for help, I need you in my house. Guess what he do? Show up. He shows up, y'all. Oh my God, he shows up. I look at my scars, and instead of seeing, all of what I just said, would it had me, had my house all dark, you know what I mean, and all of that. I look back at all the things that I've done, you know what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed of them anymore. Those things have actually has allowed me to want to heal, once I was able to recognize it. This thing takes work, y'all. Recovery takes work. I might be shouting out sometimes like it's simple. It becomes simple, yes. But for the suffering addict, the newcomer of a suffering addict, it's not easy. You know what I mean? And it's still a lot that you have to learn. I've been clean off of cocaine for 40 years, and I still am learning about that drug. I'm still learning on all these other drugs that adds in from generation to generation to generation. You follow what I'm saying? I'm not even crazy about doctor's drugs. You follow? This infusion that I got last Thursday, y'all, that thing was the worst. You know what I mean? That thing was tearing me up. The headache that medicine gave me, they told me that medicine was a hard medicine, but you ain't telling me what it was, actually. Like, what is it that makes this happen? Well, she got to answer me Tuesday, because I go back Tuesday, and I want to know. It was not nice. It was not nice. That thing had my head feeling like somebody took a hammer and a nail and just started bamming it in there and keep bamming it and keep bamming it and keep bamming it. Before I take the next one, if that be so, I'm going to have more information on the drug itself and why does it do that. You know what I mean? She explained to me it was going to be hard and all that. Well, now you got to speak my language. You follow? You got to speak my language, and you're going to have that time to answer my questions. Answer my questions. I just, because y'all know I feel like doctors, dealers too to me. You know what I mean? Nothing but God heals you. You know what I'm saying? They're just people that he blessed and gave, this and hands to do some things that others can't do. But you're not God. You know what I mean? And nothing should hurt like that. And you tell them before you get better, it's going to hurt. That's crazy. That's real crazy. I know that my higher power has brought me through all of this, and it's called survival, and I'm surviving. And the reason why is because I pay attention. The reason why is because I love him. The reason why is because I have directions that I have to live. I have a structured life that I have to follow. You know what I mean? And I have to give back what was so simply given to me. You know what I mean? I have to try to put his word out to say that you can do this, and this can be done, and to have this live is a perfect way of doing it. Again, all of us who's on here that is living in recovery and our home has been cleaned up, we need to start letting people who's suffering on the porch so that we can help them. You know what I mean? We got help. We needed help. We surrendered. You know what I mean? We had people who got clean just to help us get clean, who has a heart and a mind that is together like this, which used to be like that. One can't work without the other, and now just trying and trying and trying and soldiering and soldiering and soldiering with the gift that we was given to know how this disease worked, and let people know that it works if you work it. You understand? And let people understand that it's not easy, but it gets better. It gets better daily, one day at a time. And again, a day starts with a second become a minute become an hour, and an hour becomes a day. And don't rush yourself to the years, because it's coming. One day at a time. Everything starts one day at a time. And we can't get ahead of ourselves. See, because our home is still dark. You know, and we still got to find the switches and the lights to turn them on. You know what I mean? So the lights can come on. You follow? The home is you. The home is here. You follow what I'm saying? People say, girl, you got a nice home. Well, I hope I do. And I ain't talking about the materialistic home. Hell, I'm a decorator. You follow what I'm saying? But I'm decorating the inside of me so it can look just as beautiful as this home. You follow what I'm saying? And I'm working hard. I'm working hard because there's still dark rooms that I got to turn the lights on. I accept some things that I shouldn't have to. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help somebody else, but I know I can't carry luggage. I know I can't carry weight, but see, me inside my heart and mind says, you know what? You okay enough because you got a higher power greater than yourself that's going to keep you up. It's going to make you see when you start turning dim lights on. You know how we got those lights and they can get light or they can get dim and then they can get dark. You know what I'm saying? I got to keep mine lit. I got to keep my light balanced. You know what I mean? But what I can do, I know I'm going to go through some ups and some downs, but I got to be more alert to the downs that will turn the light off. I love this shit. I love this stuff, man. I'm telling you. I love it so much because I can see now that the rain is gone. You know what I mean? I done got through that storm and I got to stay out that storm, man. That thing struck me up so bad. You know what I mean? I was just blind, man. I just couldn't see. You know, I couldn't feel and I couldn't hear. And that thing was just killing me. It was tearing me up slowly every day. Every single day. I watch people, and I know you've seen people, or you might know people, and it might be your loved ones, that they drink every day and say they have fun. They having a lot of fun. And then when something happens inside the house and the lights is out, or they're so dim that you can't bring the light up, I watch people die. I watch people die. You know? And what they say, oh, it was alcoholism. You know? It was drug addiction. You know? It was an overdose. You know? Our children is doing this. Our children is mocking us. Look at them. Look at a lot of them. They out here naked, shaking butts all over the place, like it's okay. You follow? Drinking, drunk. I ain't seen so many DUIs in my life. You know? Dying from overdoses. You follow? We gotta help them. We gotta wake them up, but we gotta stop doing these things in front of them too. I see mothers and all of them out there, grandmothers with them. You know what I mean? Doing the same thing. Because their lights is out. You follow? Their lights is out. They think it's fun. They think that's the way it's supposed to be. You know? And I'm speaking on what I feel. You follow? I speak on what I feel. You know? It's just not good. Just not good. Showing their breasts. I mean, they ain't even wearing clothes. They're not even wearing clothes. That's not beauty. When you put on an all sheer freaking dress or all sheer freaking pants, you know what I mean? And all you see is the crack and all that stuff. Man, that thing is not being the woman or growing up to be the woman in God's eyes. You know what I mean? We cover up, man. We don't do that. We can look sexy. We can look good. I know I do. You know what I mean? I don't have to have all that, you know, showing for me because I don't need that attention. You know what I mean? Hell, disease not only woke me up from drugs and alcohol, it woke me up from the blindness of what I seen as being a woman. You know, I don't have to make nobody like me, no man like me, because I ain't got no clothes on, or that's the way they want me to dress. Well, that ain't the one for me. You know, I can't stand it. It bothers me. It's like, where's your dignity? You know what I mean? Where's the pride in you? You know, you don't have to look like everybody else. You follow? I just threw that part in there because I see these young girls, man. I see these young people, and I even see these older people that's trying to still compete against these young girls. Stop it. Stop it. Every generation has their thing, but that ain't the one that I want my grandbabies to be. You know what I mean? That's the same if I say, here, smoke weed with me. Have a drink with me. You know what I mean? Let's go out to the bar. Let's party. You know what I'm saying? That ain't where I need to be with them. You follow? I need to show them a better way. You know? I need to show them how to love themselves and put the lights on in the house. You follow what I'm saying? And not allow it to get dark. You know? Because 9 out of 10, a lot of drinking and all that comes with this thing. You know what I mean? I just don't believe them. How they be on the floor and butt all up in the air and all that kind of stuff. Man, stop. Stop. You know, like folks love for us to be their entertainment. You know what I mean? And have us dance with no clothes on in our ancestors' time. You know, and all that stuff. They just brought it back modern. They need to be taught more. We need to teach them more. We need to let them know these things. You know? We need to let them know that this thing is not good and it's not cool. You know, but to each his own. To each his own. Just my feelings about it. To each his own. You know? I'm glad I skipped that air. You follow what I'm saying? With me, and I know I always dress sexy. You know what I mean? But I didn't dress naked. You know what I mean? I had pride with myself. Well, in my addiction, I didn't give two shits. Don't forget. Home was dark. You know? Disease is cunning, babbling, and powerful. And it's going to take all, like, I'm talking like this now. Let me pick up a drink. Let me pick up a drug. Man, that shit going right back to where it left off. You know what I mean? That's why I can't do it. That's why I'm scared of it. That's why I keep my damn door locked. You know what I mean? That's why I don't go around them things anymore. I'm not going to give disease any chance to try to make me think that it's okay now because I haven't done it in so many years that I'm okay now and I ain't got to worry about it. Oh, really? Really? That's that dimmer I'm telling y'all about. You know what I mean? Well, guess what? My lights is back on. You follow what I'm saying? And I have the wisdom to know the difference. And I can only go up. Because going up is where I'm going to end up, you know, at the end of this life. You know? And when I go up, I want to be accepted inside the big light. That's what I want. You know what I mean? I done already worked for the devil. I done already did everything that he asked me to do, and he was killing me. And I didn't even know that's what he was doing because I was enjoying myself too much. You know, in the dark, enjoying myself too much, making everybody see Tracy Allen, you know, making everybody see me and say she's sharp and she this and she got this and she got this nice house. Hell, my house was dirty as shit. My house was dirty. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about my materialistic house. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about inside me. I couldn't even see the dirt. Whoa, that was nice. You know, I couldn't see the darkness. I didn't know that my electric got cut off. The water got turned off. You follow what I'm saying? The heat was gone. You know, the coldness didn't even bother me. You follow? Didn't even bother me. And I lost that too. But I'm not losing this. I got blessed. I got beat down so bad that the coldness did it. You know what I mean? Just not caring, not listening, didn't know how, not understanding, wasn't interested. You understand what I'm saying? Can't see it, too blind. If you can't listen to hear this, you ain't gonna be able to see nothing. You know what I mean? As long as you're doing that drug, you know, and that alcohol, you follow what I'm saying, and you're abusing it the way that I abused it, you follow, it just puts you in the dark. You just do what the sickness of a disease says do. You don't think for self no more. You have something other than yourself, like that poison that's controlling everything, direct you and tell you what you're going to do. And you are in prison. You are in darkness. You are shoveling. You are shoveling your grave. You follow what I'm saying? Until you hit that rock bottom. Remember I said the bottom, there's rocks underneath the dirt. You hit that rock bottom, and then you find that, you know, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And sometimes people hit rock bottoms up 50 times, 25 times, 30 times, twice. You follow? I don't care. Long as you come back. And for every time you come back, you'll be welcomed. You'll be welcomed by us, the soldiers. You follow what I'm saying? You'll be welcomed by us. We never close hard on an addict or an alcoholic because we know how powerful disease is. We know how dark it makes our house. You know what I mean? We know that the house is destroyed. You follow what I'm saying? So we know the comeback is gonna take time. The comeback is gonna be, even for us, you know, to help you come back can be detrimental to us. You know, but because this is a selfish program, you know, just like disease is selfish, you know what I mean? You have to become selfish for self. You know what I mean? And you can't carry luggage, you know, that's going to break you down. You follow? You have to learn to live and let God. You follow? But you always pray for the still suffering. And when the still suffering comes back and asks for help, I'm willing to help them as long as they're willing to help themselves. You know, because I know the battle of sickness is cunning, baffling, and powerful. You know, and I know that the darkness is dark. You know, and some has been in darker homes than me. You know what I mean? But my home became dark enough. And now I have the light. You know what I mean? My home is cleaning up. You know, my home is being blessed. My home is following a new boss. You know what I mean? Called God. You follow what I'm saying? My home is answering to God. You follow what I'm saying? He sends me very good messages. He gives me the strength to get up and do what I'm doing right now. Who in the hell ever thought, because I know I sure enough wouldn't have never thought that I would have became a junkie. I know I never thought that I would even become a counselor. I never thought that I would even be talking anything about no addiction and drug and alcohol, you know, or some sobriety stuff. But guess what? That was the walk that he gave me, and it's the walk that I've walked. You know what I mean? So now I have been blessed with the talk that I walked. You know what I mean? And I'm opening up, living in my truth, so that anybody who wants to share, you know, that beautiful home that you're in right now, you know what I mean, that you say you're in, you follow what I'm saying? Well, you got a door closed. You know what I mean? Share, y'all. Share in any way that you possibly can. Let's help the still suffering. You know what I mean? Let's come together as a whole, as a one, because one person needs all of us and what we have for one disease. Ain't that crazy? Disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. You know, and some of us don't get it in time. Some of us can't make it. Some of us and a lot of us die. You know, and the way that they bringing these drugs and stuff out here now, and they putting all this poison together, you know, in the eyes of Satan. You know what I'm saying? It's taking our babies out, y'all. It's taking it got a lot to do when they start shooting and all that stuff. Man, they be lit. They be amped up. You follow what I'm saying? This thing goes a long way. The darkness just don't end with it. You know, so we have to start spreading this news. We have to start spreading these powerful. I'm gonna call them plug-ins. You know how we put plug-ins in our house to make it smell good. You know how we buy clean products to make it to clean it up and make it clean good. Well, guess what? Narcotics Anonymous have a lot of cleanup, and Alcoholics Anonymous have a lot of cleanup. CA Anonymous have a lot of cleanup. You know what I mean? And we ain't even gotta pay a dime for it. It's all free. You know what I mean? If you want to get cleaned up. You know what I mean? If you want to get your home cleaned up and get your mind and your heart back to communicating again as one as they supposed to, you know what I mean? And put your mind and your love and your heart in a higher power greater than yourself, you will definitely be walking the yellow brick road. You'll be off to meet the wizard. Trust that. You'll be off to meet the wizard. You know, I'm feeling good tonight too. I'm loving this stuff. You know what I mean? Disease whispered to you, you know, when you couldn't even live without it. It whispers. It whispers. It's like the wind that comes in the home. You know how the window will be going like that, woo, woo, or you can hear the lightning on top of the roof. You know what I mean? You know, that's what the sickness do inside of us. It just throw the lightning. It throws the bolts. It send tornadoes. It send, you know what I mean? Rain, you know, real hard, floods the home, you know what I mean? They do all these things that just tear you down. You follow, tear your home down. You follow? But we now fixing the home. You follow, in following the Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous and coming to believe in the 12 steps. You know what I mean? I tell you, that thing, I live for it. I can't let it go, ever. You know, because if I do, I'm going to open a window. And I refuse to do that. I am in it, and I'm in it 150%. You know what I mean? I know that it works. I know it's the right fixing that I need in my home. You know what I mean? I have a brand new roof over top of my house. You follow what I'm saying? You know, to block out all these things. You know what I mean? To stay alert of all these things. I have a new furnace. You know what I'm saying? I have a new kitchen. I got a new bathroom. I got a new living room. You know what I mean? I'm just dressing this house up. Dressing it up with making change in my life. Because see, I know that stop drinking and drugging is just a part of what I have to do in this for this home. You know what I mean? I have to change my thinking in order to complete it. You follow what I'm saying? A lot of people think they stop getting high and stop drinking, you know, and you wonder why you've gone through things. You wonder why you feel not fixed. You know what I mean? You wonder why you it's things going on with you that you know you don't know how to do, like you're cussing people out. You know, you're still angry. You know what I mean? You still have resentment. You follow what I'm saying? This is because you have to change your thinking. You have to always use the information and the education that we have for this sickness in our language. We have our own books. We got our own sermons. We have our own homes called NA and AA. We have to continue to follow these things. We have to continue to learn. We have to always know that our sickness is forever. You know what I mean? Can we live with this sickness? Hell yeah. Plenty of us show that. You know what I mean? Can we accept this sickness? Hell yeah. Plenty of us is doing that. You know why we do it? Because we choose to do it. You follow? Everything about recovery and giving up that old dirty home is a choice. And it's a decision. You know what I mean? And it's learning how to fight the buildup and the residue and all that stuff that's inside this home of yours, and how to keep your home clean. You know what I mean? And keep cleaning this home every day. You know what I mean? 12 steps. 12 steps. Hey, LC. LC said something. She got a pile. LC said confirmation to protect our peace and our surrender is all God. You know, while still loving and praying for others, still being ruled by drugs. I can just bow my head to you on that, sis. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Just that much you said put chills in me. You follow what I'm saying? You know, I know how to feel the good from the darkness versus the bad feel good from the light versus the bad from the darkness. I know if somebody trying to slip something in on me that I disagree with, well, okay, I disagree. You know what I mean? That's that light switch I told you, to keep it either up high, in the middle, or dark. You follow what I'm saying? It's a choice and a decision to accept any of this information that we are offering you, you know, to learn how to deal with your home. you know, which meaning you. You follow? This is the way that God has given us to walk, you know, and ain't no way on earth you can't see the ones of us that are now walking and not running. You know what I mean? Some people will keep a blind eye, but that's okay. You know what I mean? My eyes is open. You follow what I'm saying? Some people will never see you as doing better. Some people wish bad on you. You'd be surprised. They'd be right in your face. It could be family, friends, all whomever. You know, we know that, you know, in our walk that disease come through people, places, and things. You know, they give you the right ingredients, the right cleaning utensils and stuff that you have to use to clean your home. You know what I mean? To put that peace in your home. It's something for everything. It really is. That's why you got to keep an open mind. That's why you got to continue to know that we don't know everything. We learning too. Every single day. Hell, this thing start with two people, Bill and Bob. You know what I mean? Now billions of us got it. You follow what I'm saying? They gave us a direction, and here we continue to believe in the formula of what they gave, and now we have added to it. You understand what I'm saying? We can't subtract from it, but we all have added to it because it's in every generation. Something more come along, more information, more growth. You know what I mean? There's many homes that has been rebuilt. You follow what I'm saying? And you know, it's just happening. You know, but for some people, you know what I mean, who ain't never drank a drug, can't see where the home is being rebuilt because they still can't see. They're blind. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of them don't listen, and a lot of them hold resentment. A lot of them don't want you to get better. You know what I mean? That's why you got to choose your people, places, and the things, and have that wisdom to know the difference. You know what I mean? Because for me, I could smell them. I could smell them. And I know I don't want that type of scent in my house. You know what I mean? I don't want that type of scent around me to break my peace. You know what I mean? So I'll live and let God. You know what I mean? It's a way to clean everything in recovery. You follow? And even for the ones of us who haven't used, don't mean that the steps won't work for you. You know, don't mean that this information can't work for you. Hell, I learned so much through this thing. It was like, dang, I didn't know I was going to get to know all this. You know what I'm saying? And still need to know more. And I got to keep my house clean. I got to keep my lights on. I got to keep that water running. You follow what I'm saying? I can't fall in it no more. You know? And Weena said, they say you hit bottom when you stop digging. You better know they didn't hit the rock. They hit the rock. I was sharing that last week, Weena. I was sharing. You call me too. I need my coats, my stuff. Come to think of it, girl. I jumped right off the topic. You know? Let me let y'all know, Elwina sells clothes. They're used clothes, but they're beautiful. You know what I mean? And she always says, state your price. You know what I mean? She don't price nothing. She lets you price it. And whatever you price, that's what you get it for. You know? She's a giver. She just, you know, she just has such a giving heart. You know what I mean? And she gives back, you know? She's a soldier as well, you know, and she's a recovering addict. She came through a lot. Y'all seen her on here, you know, on Living in My Truth twice, actually. You know what I mean? It's never too many times to come on here and help me share. Never too many times. Because, see, we got so much to offer for you to put in your home, you know, because we still putting good things in our homes. We still learning in our own homes, and we don't mind sharing it. And our story goes forever. You know what I mean? Hell, we need a whole century to finish telling these stories and the things that we've been through, you know, the things that disease has done to us and turned us, because when we started getting clean, we found out more than we even knew. We dug deep and still digging deep. And like I said, you don't know what may pop up tomorrow. You know, I done had a few shockers. You know? Hey, Hassan. I see you here now. Y'all know I always go through the names. And Kimberly, hey, you know, because I like y'all to know that I acknowledge y'all. If y'all see the star down on the bottom or maybe on the top, please send me stars if you can. Again, these stars start at 20 cents. You know, if I can get some of you on here to send me 20 cents and 20 cents, I'm getting 100 stars. You know what I'm saying? That helps me to provide, you know, and keep this thing going. You know what I mean? It supports me, you know, when you guys send stars. You know, it helped me earn money to keep making my content. You know what I mean? Because you have to be at a certain level to be able to do this. You know, as long as we're doing it. You know what I mean? So, you know, please, you know, if you can send a star, please send a star. I appreciate it very much. You know, hey Wiz, how you doing? I'm trying to go through. Shamira, hey Miss Shamira. Randolph, how you doing, girlie? Diva. I see you, Ange, still. You know, hey Roz, how you doing? Roslyn, my baby T, you know, Rachel Carson, how you doing? Rachel, I've been trying to get you, you know that. You know, Carolyn Payne, hey Carolyn, I just saw y'all pictures, the queens. I said, check them out, still diva, still looking good. Karen, how you doing? Newsome, Lori. You know, again, I'm going back up to my sister Dion. I just saw my sister Hud. You know, always big supporters. You know, Coretta, what's going on, Coretta? I love my girl Erica. Thank you, girl. You send me hearts so much. I don't care what it is. You know, and my girl Jack. You know, I think I got to lie some of the names. This thing won't even go, but so far on his phone is crazy. Edwina said, Your Price Boot. This is her business. It's called Name Your Price Boutique, 2636. She has her own place now. And wait till y'all hear the story about that place. I'm bringing her back on here so she can share that. You know what I mean? On North 22nd Street, which is in Philly. You know, she do be at the Cowtown sometimes too. And she be at a lot of places vending. Street in Philly. Appointments only. Oh, she goes by appointments. Okay, and she do have her number on here, so y'all can scroll through and y'all can see that 302-690-6679. Okay, I hope you still got my stuff. That's all I'm saying. You know, because I sure enough shop from her. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing too good for me if it looks good. You know. I know we getting to that time, y'all. I hope y'all heard something and got something, you know, about the home and my sobriety. I'm just so grateful for it, you know, and my recovery. You know, recovery is beautiful, boy. I'm telling you, it allowed me to come home, y'all. It allowed me to come back home, you know, and build a whole new home inside. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still building, you know. I love beauty. I do. You know, I love putting things together to make it beautiful. You follow? And I love putting me together, you know, feeling beautiful. You know, I don't feel afraid of anything, you know, that I know the disease can bring. You know what I mean? Because I have a higher power that's much greater than it. You know what I'm saying? And he truly have all my trust. You know what I'm saying? I have total belief in him, you know, today. So it protects me from, you know, the devil, disease. You know, I think I shared before that don't forget the devil used to be an angel. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tricky little hussy. You follow? But I'm aware of her, you know, and I don't allow her to speak to me anymore. I shut her down because I know she wants to wreck the home that I built, you know, and we all have built. You know, I majorly keep things on the eye, you know, but for what I say, you know, is people who are just like me, who's in recovery, can feel what I'm saying and understand what I'm saying. And I hope the people who's learning more about it, you know, is catching on to how this works. You know, I think I saw Live, Love, Laugh on here. I'm going to just be blunt. I want you to come on the show because I think you say a whole lot of good stuff that people need to hear. You know what I mean? Like I said, it don't always have to be on drug and alcohol. I will always, bring that in, no matter what anybody come on here and say. You know what I mean? Because one way or the other, we all experience it. You know what I mean? And some of us can't handle a lot of things. You follow what I'm saying? Dealing with people, places, and things, So whatever type of information that you have, and you come sit with me on the couch can help somebody. You understand what I'm saying? It can also help me. It can also help the still suffering addicts and alcoholics today. It can help people who are dealing with mental health. You know what I mean? And some that's even dealing with psych. You know what I mean? It is a beautiful thing to help other people when you have that gift. It's a beautiful thing, and you'll be cleaning up your house. You follow what I'm saying? And you're going to get those blessings every time you do, because God rewards us. You follow when we do what he asks of us to do. You follow, and he knows your sincereness. He knows your honesty. You can't fake it to make it, and a lot of us get on here and just be doing, you know what I mean? But I come with authenticness. I come in with real stuff. You follow what I'm saying? And I have no shame to my game to say or express anything that darkness did to me. Because I know when I express my darkness, it's going to help others recognize their own. You know what I mean? And I'm full blast with this thing. You follow? So anybody that, look at me otherwise or look at how I used to be or, like one day I was in a situation where I was out and I know a lot of people watch Living in My Truth. You know what I mean? And they had a party, bar downstairs. Well, I chose not to go downstairs. You know what I mean? Because I really don't want to, show like, okay, I'm in recovery, but I don't drink, or that doesn't bother me. No, I try to keep it as real as I possibly can. I can't go into a restaurant and tell them put their bar up until I'm finished, eating or being in here. You know what I mean? But I'm just not going to walk into a direct mess. It's not going to happen for me. You know what I mean? I can't go in the market and say, y'all need to take this beer and alcohol out of here because I shop in here. You follow what I'm saying? No, I know what I can't let in my house. You follow? People will see you with these things, see you around these things. You know what I mean? And all it takes is one person to say, girl, she was at this party and she did this and she did that. Man, that's just like saying sticks and stones could break my bones, but names don't hurt me no more. I can handle that. I can deal with that. You know what I mean? Because I ain't going to be where I don't need to be. You follow what I'm saying? But again, I'm not the only one that's sober. You know what I mean? I'm not the only one that's sick either. You know what I mean? I also have the wisdom to know the difference. And I don't recommend anybody who's in early recovery, you know what I mean, to go around any of it because it's a trigger. And we're going to talk about triggers on next Living in My Truth. You know what I mean? There's so many triggers out here in people, places, and things. Woo! When we start talking about that, you're going to start seeing another enlightenment. It's going to add another room and a light bulb in your house. It's going to add more space in your house to fulfill it, with what we need to be listening to, getting into, and understanding. We can't erase things that's going on. You know what I'm saying? We can't even erase our addiction. You know what I'm saying? We can only accept it, surrender, find that higher power, and live every day daily, one day at a time, to let and turn that thing into medication. You know what I'm saying? I turned my old ways into medication. I don't care about people talking about me. I don't care about what people think or what people make up. You know what I mean? Because they saw me somewhere else. Oh, well, I know my truth. You follow? I know my truth, and my truth is setting me free, and I don't care what you see. You follow? Because I know I'm walking the walk. You follow? I know that I am doing what my higher power asks of me to do. You follow? And I know that I'm clean, and I know that I'm sober. You follow? Again, I can't change society. You got to go back into society, changing yourself, in order to deal with it, because it's never going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And a lot that's out there is not getting better. We all see that. It's getting worse. You know what I mean? But my house is staying clean, you know, because I still have all my medication, my directions, and my structures to know how to keep this house clean. Anybody hear me? Let me know by sending some hearts. Y'all know I still love them hearts. Remember I used to wear hearts every day all the time. But see, when I came up with that logo with the heart in it, I said that's the biggest heart ever. You follow what I'm saying? My living in my truth and sharing it with people. And y'all look, the sweatshirts and, you know, the shirts and stuff is back out. They back on the way. I have more made, more done. I did pretty well. You know, we're starting it. I want to continue it. And again, that pocketbook going to be coming out too. You follow? So y'all look, I'm trying to get y'all to send me 20 cents in stars. Come on, y'all, help me out. You follow what I'm saying? It ain't gonna make me stop living in my truth, you know, but I would appreciate it if some of you, you know, can and will send me a star, you know, because I don't want to lose the momentum of this thing. You know, I want to keep it going and keep it high. Is that my pillar? Hey, pillar. How you doing? Every time I look down, I always see more and more names. Hey, Mare, what's going on, girlie? You know, Amira, thanks for being on, girl. Good to see you, too. You know, you said you was coming on here, and I want you on here. I'm going to call you, you know. I don't rush nobody to do what they say they're going to do. I don't rush nobody to come on. I'm always come at you, though. You follow what I'm saying? To give you a reminder. You follow? You know? Wiz, Prayers Recovery, you know, and thank you for your message. Thank you so much. Thank you for being on to listen. You know, I know it's getting late, y'all. You know, I still want y'all to send out some love for Celine Chambers. You know, he's going through something right now. He lost a family member. He's in recovery, you know, and disease, like I said, is always knocking at the door. You know, is always trying to get back in that home. So please send some prayers up for him. You know what I mean? And guess what? Celine, if you're on here, I know you'll watch the replay. You know, we praying for you. You know, prayers are definitely up, you and your family. Thanks, everybody, for being on. You know, I do want to say I'm trying to put together too, you know, the next LNMT Awards. You know what I mean? And I can't wait for that. You know, I'm going to try to keep it going. You know why? Because it should be, what we do should be rewarded. We should know how to reward ourselves, you know what I mean, and reward others just like us. You know, so that was the purpose of the LNMT Award, the Living in My Truth Awards. You know, and again, a reminder of the last one. Anybody on here was there, show some hearts. We had a good time. You know, we had a beautiful time. You know, and it was so peaceful and so full of love, you know, and people sharing, you know what I mean, and being grateful and thankful and feeling, you know, proud of themselves, even receiving this award. The biggest award that we can get is God, you know what I mean, and our home to get clean. You know what I mean? Well, I just gave you a piece of something to put in that home for remembrance. You know what I mean? And for your willingness, and for all the people that you help, you know, from yourself to others to get clean. You know, so again, like the program says, rewards are going to come left and right. You know, your home is going to get clean. Your home is going to become light again and not dark. You know, so with that, I'm going to say the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You know, so see y'all next week, y'all. Next week, hopefully I'm going to be bringing on a guest, you know, and we can get it in on here. I thank everybody for coming on. I'm going to try to send you some hearts, but I don't even know why this thing is not allowing me to do it. You know what I mean? Thank you for the hearts. You know, I guess I got to figure out what they did to my phone, you know, when they changed the thing. I don't even know how to send them.
I mean, the thing for sending the hearts won't let me do it, you know, but it's coming from this one, okay? This is coming to everybody from me, this heart right here. I got enough room for everybody, you know, including myself. This is Tracy Allen, living in my truth, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Please share this. Everybody share this. This can travel. This can go further and further. That's another way that you help people get better. When we hit that share button and send this message out. Hey, Sharon. Hey, baby. Thanks for coming on. I'm getting ready to pop off here, but y'all hit that share button so you don't forget. Just hit it when we go off this live. Please help in one way. And if you choose to send me a star, you know, I appreciate it. Okay? God bless you. And I'll see everybody next Wednesday.